right, it is a super rainy day outside, so we're gonna go through this chill kind of regular day at home. Not every day am I going out to fun coffee shops and running around town and doing things like that. So today we're gonna stay home, and what we're diving into is a couple things. One, I have completely finished, well, at least the MVP finished, the create and edit flow for the projects. Super freaking excited to show you that, so stay tuned. In the last video, I told you I completely dropped Supabase auth, and well, some of you guessed it, I went to Clerk. So a lot of folks are using Clerk. They have a very generous free tier, and I want to dive into some of the reasons why I ditched Supabase OTP. Still doing OTP, but going through Clerk now. But first, we need to get some coffee, start cranking on some code, and I don't know about y'all, maybe this is a me thing, but whenever it is a rainy day, and my wife can attest to this for probably the last decade that we've been together, a little over a decade we've been together. Every single time that it's raining outside, I just have the freaking strongest urge to watch Harry Potter. So we'll probably crack on some Harry Potter on the TV, little background music, so to say, while we're writing some code. Because in this video, one of the big things that I need to finish now is the bottom sheet so that the users can create a brand new project. Right now, I just have some seeded data in the database. They can edit it to their heart's content, but they need to be able to create it from scratch, obviously. So we'll work through that and I'll show you that. But first, we need some coffee. Yes, I did get a Harry Potter cup for my coffee because, like I said, we're doing a freaking Harry Potter marathon today. So before we dive in, one of the things that I keep seeing either on Discord, which if you don't know, we have the only dev club Discord type ordeal that all of the money, every single penny goes to kids in STEM every month. So top link in the description down below. If you like talking tech, SaaS, building products, building in public, product management, sales, finally, like all of the business side, building side of building products, then you're gonna have a lot of fun. I really encourage you, top link in the description down below. But like I said, whether it's been in the Discord or in YouTube comments, I'm seeing a lot of people ask me, one, am I building React Native? So yes, this is a React Native application. They're really interested in getting into React Native themselves, and it's like, oh, I'm very scared to start. And I freaking get it. Like, I totally resonate with where you're coming from. It is definitely scary. I didn't know a single line of React Native. I barely knew React when I started, and here we are now, 20-something videos into this SaaS journey of mine. And by no means am I good at React Native development, but I'm good enough, right? So I totally resonate with being afraid to start and honestly having that analysis paralysis, and it sucks, and I totally get it. And my advice to you all is just start something. And before you're like, okay, no shit. What I mean here is, or I guess let me even back up. I am telling you right now, and I'll be the first one to say it, do not go and build a Twitter clone or X clone. Don't build a Netflix clone, because you, quite truthfully, probably won't be emotionally invested into it because it is not a passion of yours, and you're just not going to learn the depth, and you won't be naturally curious to actually dive into like, oh, why does it do that? Or I wonder how this works and things like that. There's lots of videos on like how to build a Twitter clone because people recognize that name, and truthfully, it's just a good YouTube title. But instead, what I really recommend to you is figure out whatever one of your hobbies are. Is it playing cards? Is it playing video games? Is it hiking? Is it taking pictures? Like whatever it is, and just build something for that hobby. If there is a product that already exists that you're like, nope, I love this product, go and make that clone. And I say that because when you have that emotional tie into whatever it is that you're building, you're gonna have way more fun. You're gonna combat burnout. Somebody asked me, hey dude, you work a 9 to 5, you have a family, you have a kid, you're still building products and making videos, like how the hell do you not burn out? it's fun. I find it a lot of fun. Building this product really gives me energy, and it revitalizes me. And it's because I'm passionate about what the hell I'm making. I was a woodworker, and while I don't do it much anymore since having a young kid, and I didn't want to like abandon my wife to be a single parent because I spent all my time in the garage, while I still have that huge passion for woodworking. So it is something for me that I just genuinely enjoy. So build something super simple, literally just work on a button, and I promise you all of the ideas will just start to flood in. Once you get over this gate of analysis paralysis by just starting something, a single button, a single page, go make an authentication page using Clerk, which you'll see here later in this video. It's a very simple thing to do once you just start moving. And I think you'll surprise yourself. Once you just dive in, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know what the hell I was scared of, because this is not so bad, especially with tools like Claude, which Claude is way better than ChatGPT right now. So use the free Claude, start out, walk through some of React Native. There's a couple YouTubers that I really like, not just developers, Simon Grimm. They have some wonderful tutorials on both full flows and just little screens. So I totally resonate with you. I was scared shitless when I started this app, and now it is like my most favorite thing to do. So I really encourage you, dive in, do the scary thing, do the hard thing, and you'll have a lot of fun. I really do promise you that. So let's start diving into this code here. I want to show you the finished MVP workflow for the create and edit projects. All right, so we're in the app here, and I want to show you this new, I'm super stoked about it, but this new product flow for creating and editing projects. So you can come into either the project screen or on the dashboard. Let's just do one that I haven't already done so you can see the full effect. So whenever you see the Benchbox logo right now, that means no image has been associated to it. I still need to do the work in getting an asset and not using the Benchbox logo. The Benchbox logo is fine, but it would be better if it was like, I don't know, just something a little cuter, I guess. Come into a single card, click on the full details, go to your edit flow. So you can see there's a couple pieces of inventory right now before I dive in, a couple pieces of inventory right now, and a single step, and we'll go ahead and change that. Come into our edit. This is where, here's our product 2. Let's do, and I don't have my keyboard showing right now, I'm just gonna use my real keyboard. Product 2 for the YouTube. Let's make it due on, I don't know, July 31st. And let's go ahead and just add a random picture here. Thanks guys, let me get that picture. Picture is now within our Supabase backend. I'm kind of going back and forth if I should wait until you submit before I upload pictures, but I think this is fine. The customer is Andrew. If I could type, it's Andrew. His house is the address. It's a medium project. It's gonna take us 23 hours and 3 minutes. It's summertime right now. It's a quick sell, outdoor, vintage, because Harry Potter vibes. Go to next. Here are the pieces of inventory that you saw before. I don't actually need the cherry dowels anymore. I'm actually gonna go for a maybe a stain. So we have our walnut stain here. We need just one stain. We don't need that much wood glue. We just need a single wood glue. And maybe we need now 15 nails. So, or screws rather. So we can now, so our inventory is good now. We can come into our next screen. Here's that single step as I mentioned before. Okay, I would like to change this name to step for the YouTube. We'll finish that. Let's go ahead and just add a couple steps. Oh crap, I didn't want this step 3, was an accident. I can slide it over and delete the step. And if you're like, oh, here's now step, you know, I want this as number 1, I can come and long click on the handle and drag it up to the top. And now you can actually see it's reordered them correctly within the step order and the JSON. So at this point in time, I can go and click submit. And now I have our project 2 for the YouTube. You can see we have our walnut stain, 15 screws, not nails, 15 wooden screws, and our 1 gallon of wood glue. We have our new step for number 1, step for YouTube, and the new step that we clicked there. So we can see our progress bar automatically used the correct calculations. Now we know it's 3 steps. And this is going super freaking awesome. So at this point, I'm not showing the customer information. I realized that after I finished this flow that I need to show that somewhere, but just to show you it persisted and all of the other tags and stuff, it's right there. So this is the new flow. I am loving it. And I think this is gonna be a much more enjoyable time for the beta testers, which more on that soon, to manage and create these busy projects, right? This is a lot of freaking information. A brand new customer was generated for our customers table, which hasn't been done before in this app. But if I go and now do another edit and say, oh, it's Andrew's house, but comma in the driveway, and I next and submit. Now, instead of making a brand new customer, that customer is simply updated. So all of that logic is figured out. It is a good flow. I just need to work out the ability to create a new project from scratch. And what I'm thinking here is I'm going to be able to click this button. Right now, it's just a little action pop-up, but this is going to open a bottom sheet. And on the bottom sheet, I'll have a couple boxes for you to start from scratch, maybe eventually start from a draft and all those types of things. And I think it'll be super friggin' awesome. So this is the new flow. Friggin' loving it. And I think the users are going to really enjoy this, but we won't know until they start. So speaking of beta testers, I'm going to be reaching out today to identify if they're iOS or Android, so I can make sure whether it be TestFlight or Play Store, I can get them a copy of this app and let them start playing around. So we are finally at the stage, once I figure out this last little detail of the create from scratch, and we need to allow the user to create some inventory. I did update the quick filters to have little icons, just make them a little more friendly and fun to use. But at this point, we just need to also create the flow for them to make a new inventory. That should be much more simple than the project. The project was a hard one. But at this point in time, I think we're in a really freaking awesome spot. And I'm really excited. I'm gonna be reaching out to customers to let them beta test this thing and start collecting feedback. So I think later in this week, we're gonna dive into the roadmap and laying out furthering the roadmap, but I need to set up some customer meetings to, like I said, dial in those details. So I'm gonna crack on with a code sesh for a couple hours, and I will see you all after I finish this bottom sheet. Let's go. So I'm probably like 65% done with the bottom sheet to create a new project, but I just wanna kind of pump the brakes and show you this new Clerk flow for OTP authentication, because it is super crispy smooth. Obviously, like, it's a whole company that their whole game is just all auth, so it makes sense on why it's so damn good, but it is super freaking good. I want to show you this. So now when a user dives into the application, they actually go through an OTP flow through Clerk. So I'm going to type in just a brand new email. So right out of the gate, they'll be able to just request a code if they are an existing user. But if they're not an existing user, they'll be able to come up in here, provide an email, give us a backup password just in case there's some reason your OTP password is not looking. Just let us have a backup password. This is all stored securely in Clerk, so there's nothing that I have to do with this. They'll create an account and then they'll go through the OTP flow. So I'm going to hide my email here just because I'm using my real email for right now. They'll have their full email in there. Obviously mine's blurred out. They'll click a request code. They'll get a message either to their phone because they have their email on their phone or whatever, and they will get a, here, let me see if I could show it to you. And on the development server, they'll go ahead and get this email. Verification code, benchbox. This is just the dev server, so obviously don't try this code. It's not gonna work. And you don't have my email anyways, but 183945, so 183945, verify the code, and wham bam, they are in the application, have all their projects and things like that. This is freaking awesome because their email setup is just flawless. They allow you to cache off the profile picture from the user, and all of that stuff gets stored inside a Clerk. So you can see who's active, what sessions. I'm not gonna scroll down because I don't wanna leak my email here, but you can just see in their dashboard, they have JWT templates. Here is the Supabase one that I made that allows you to provide the signing key from your JWT flow and get access to all of these different values within a JWT token response for your application. So that's freaking awesome because it allows you to store things like the avatar URL. This has completely eliminated my need to have a profiles table right now. I am sure that I'll expand and make a proper profiles table in the app, but if I could just leverage the information in Clerk, the avatar URL, one less thing I need to store in Supabase, it just dramatically simplified my process. So Clerk OTP, goodbye Supabase OTP. Oh, the reason I ditched Supabase OTP was it just crashed all the time. There was times even locally deployed on my Mac, I was not getting any kind of responses. It would fail to refresh tokens, all of those things. And it was just becoming more and more of a headache. And I was like, all right, look, Clerk's free tier is stupid generous. That's like 5,000 users a month or something like that. And then after that, I think it's like $8. So super, super freaking generous. I don't need a profiles table anymore. It's just one less set of APIs and things that I need to custom manage and track. And I can store my profile images in Clerk, which is way more secure. Down the line, the other huge thing is that it's a little more expensive in Clerk, but it allows you to do organizations right out of the gate. So future products is the fact that I'll be able to have like a shop where multiple people can be belonging to a single tenant ID effectively, and that'll allow me to do more of like small wood shops rather than the solo woodworker. And the second you start adding more people in there, that's where a lot of your MRR can come from, your monthly recurring revenue, because it's now B2B, which is business to business, right? Rather than B2C. And I think that's just gonna be way more efficient to stick with Clerk. It is yet another tool that you have to add to the tool stack, but this is a freaking awesome tool to add. And I really, really recommend that if you're not using Clerk for your user management workflow. I was totally against it at first, just because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna use Supabase, Team Supabase forever. Man, I was so wrong. Go freaking use Clerk. All right, lunch is all wrapped up. We have a fun drink. Always have a fun drink. We're gonna spend the rest of this afternoon reaching out to my beta users. If you didn't know, I don't know, probably 10 videos ago now, I'll drop a card right up here. About 10 videos ago, I validated this SaaS with Facebook ads. I paid about $100 and got hundreds of click-throughs, another like 50 to sign up for an email waitlist. So by no means is it like truly validated because customers aren't paying any money. I didn't do any kind of prepays or anything like that. But I have a lot of amazing feedback of people like no shit saying, where's this product been? I need this product. So we're still pushing through. Some of y'all are freaking super users. I already know it. So I'm gonna be working and reaching out to all of them, sending them either a custom email or a custom Loom if I want to show my face a little bit, and just give them the heads up that I'll be contacting them to set up channels with them, whether it's to like white glove onboard them into the app. I want their experience seamless. So we're gonna work through that kind of boring admin-y type stuff. Here's a really good pro tip. If you are a parent out there, or you are somebody that is just generally busy all the time and you don't get a lot of time to work through these like complex projects, here is a tip that I have for you. So in my Notion calendar, I have basically two what I call swim lanes. I have kind of like my deep focus type work, which is me building the app itself. But then I also have a lot of asynchronous work, which is like this admin-y type stuff, documentation, doing research. And as somebody with a wife and a toddler, you know, I often don't get a whole lot of time, not as much as somebody who's like working on their side hustle full time, or if they're single. Family takes a lot of time, and it's obviously super important, so I'm glad to spend that time. But I have like a whole stack of asynchronous type work. So like these emails, which don't take a lot of like cognitive load, this is my asynchronous work. So I just work it off as I can. If I get to it today, amazing. If I get to it tomorrow, even better. As things go on, if something's on like the asynchronous swim lane, as days travel on and gets closer to the due date, it'll automatically put the item into like my focus work, so that it has to get done. So that is like my little pro tip to you, is have two buckets of work: your full focus, no shit, head down, grindy type work, and then your asynchronous tasks, and allow those asynchronous tasks to eventually flow into the gotta get it done category if it needs to. And if not, then you just work it off when you work it off. If you're, nope, I wanna spend time watching Netflix with my wife tonight and I wanna chill, then it doesn't hurt my feelings. And I think that is an awesome way to avoid burnout. So that's all we have for today. Like I said, super chill, rainy day vibes. I hope y'all enjoy this video. If you wanna do me a huge favor, drop a comment down below, like and subscribe, hit the algorithm with everything we have so we can start pushing this channel out more. If you are interested in joining that dev club where all of the money is donated to Kins and STEM, please check the top link down in the description below. This is a awesome opportunity. We literally have conversations going all freaking day, and it's just a good group. It's a really awesome group. Everybody is super supportive. We've already lined up our first charity we're donating to, and that'll be at the top of next month. So I have some incredible freaking news to share with you all in the top of next video. So stay tuned. Don't miss this one. Like I said, it is going to be an absolute freaking game changer for the channel. I am so ungodly excited for this. And with that, I will see you all next week.